So, welcome to the Elsa Styling Show, which is my first podcast, where we will discuss the behind the scene of my job as a luxury personal stylist. And today I have a special guest, Carlos Mir. You have been working for Neiman Marcus for over 22 years now, and I would love for you to introduce yourself.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Um, I worked for Neiman Marcus for 22 years and in the men's luxury department. We carry brands such as Brioni, Armani, Zegna, Ricci, so all the luxury brands. But I am not limited to just the men's world. We are taught to go throughout the whole store. Well, that obviously would include the ladies' departments, fine apparel, handbags, jewelry, the whole thing. And we even had kids, so we can do that too.
So, you and I have been collaborating for more than 2 years now, whereas as an outside stylist, I was bringing my client to the store. And obviously, the teamwork has been very important, especially when we had to deal with high-level client. And the reason for you to come here is really to highlight that. I feel that many people do not understand the behind-the-scene work that you and I have to do, even if you have to work on your own, or I'm working on my own when even we don't collaborate. And I think it's very important to highlight, the importance of creation and bespoke work that comes into play when it comes to really serve a client to the highest level, as well as to make sure that the customer journey is on point. So what is pretty much your intake on that, and what have you seen since you and I have been collaborating together? Like, what is the importance of that teamwork for the end result?
Well, you said it right. It's about teamwork and collaboration and communication. In order to make a successful event with a client, it all has to start with the back of the house, and that means for us to get together and talk about what are the client's preferences, what he likes, what he doesn't like, what colors, what styles. Also go through the models that will work for the customer, his sizes, and then that is followed by actually going on the floor and picking out the different garments that will be to the customer's liking. Obviously, you always try to have a plethora of styles and colors and sizes so that the customer can choose, and so that the experience will be a successful one, will be flawless for the customer. He comes in, we take care of him, and he leaves. But all of this work from the very beginning has to be important in that we have to communicate, and then we have to execute.
Yeah, for sure. I always say that my job as a personal stylist, it's much more than just be, I would say, a personal shopper on the floor of any retail store. Yes, of course, you have to know the product, you have to know the trend, you have to understand the merchandise, you have to understand all of that. But really, my job is deeper than that. Like, I really see myself as a curator of all ecosystem. So it's not just me having to pull the latest trend for my client.
True.
It's a full ecosystem to understand, first of all, who they are as a person, really scan their lifestyle.
You have to know your client
Exactly.
so that you be able to please the client.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's really that curation that is highly important in order to recommend the right outfit for them, and also outfit that will make the process of getting dressed every day very much effortless. The focus here is for them to really save time, not to feel overwhelmed by, okay, what I'm going to wear today, how I'm going to put that together. And so to me, I found in a way that this fascinating that it's not something that is very much said out there. And that's why I really wanted to create this podcast, to really showcase the depth of the work that it is, not just at what I call the surface of just being a stylist.
But you made a good point, and that is something that is very, very valuable to the client. The fact that you don't just stop at selecting and offering the latest to the client, but you will leave it with them in the media that you communicate with, so that when he's about to wear something for whatever event, he knows exactly what to buy.
Oh, exactly, yeah.
Or what to wear. That is, and that's important because there's a lot of people out there that are very limited as to what they know, the fashion styles of the season and so forth. So you are making it easier for them.
I do. And it's also not just, about making the process easier, but it's also something that, we like it or not, we do need clothes every day, right? And clothes are a part of a non-verbal communication tool. It literally takes 7 seconds for someone to make an opinion of you, whether you like it or not, based on what you wear. It's just a fact. And so, as you know, most of my clients are very much high-level client. They carry a personal brand, and they need to represent that brand, whether it's for the business or the role they have, but they have to carry that brand. And for them, that wardrobe needs to represent the brand. Also, they travel a lot. Remember, one of my latest clients living between Texas and Puerto Rico, his lifestyle is always moving, and so the wardrobe has to follow that as well. So what is pretty much your I would say intake when it comes to like what do you see to be such an important pieces to be able to manage this in such an effortless way for the client?
That's really important. A client that we both know, that we worked with in the past, he told me once, when I walk into a boardroom in Zurich or Frankfurt or London or whatever, and I know that I'm wearing the best, it gives me a added sense of confidence, and that goes a long way. Especially if he knows that he is well put together, and that's where we come in.
Yeah, for sure, because we could say that fashion is sort of flaky, like, oh, we don't need fashion, it's just the surface. I mean, we can see it this way, but it does something, like it does makes you feel better, it does makes you feel good. And also fabric, cut, color says and something, there is a message out there. So I agree that, of course, being conscious about what you buy, how many times you are going to wear that piece, do you really need it? I get that part, and I'm the first one to never push my client to buy something they don't need. It's very much strategize. But I also know the other aspect of it. When someone, for instance, I had a client one day, she was moving to this very important role in her career, and her personality was to be very shy. Like, she's a very shy person, and she was like, Elsa, I need to create authority with the way I dress. And so right away, my job was to make sure we had more structure within a clothes. That right away, having structure when you have an outfit put together, it gives more authority. Whereas if you were to wear something that is more casual, you look more approachable with less authority. It's just, it's just what it is. So it's definitely a message. And so that's why for me, being here is very important, because I really want to show the depth of what it is, and it's not just about you selling the latest pair of jeans or me saying this is the trendiest jacket that you need to wear. There is also a lot of a lot of human work in what we do, right?
Right.
We need to be able to scan a customer. We need to be able to feel the energy of that person, how we're going to communicate with them. Each customer is very much different. To make sure that that customer journey is just top notch.
Right. And you know what? At the end of the day, it has to be a relationship between you, between me, and the client, so that you get to know them, and therefore you'll be able to take care of their needs, and that goes to every aspect of their life, not just the business world. Also, when they will take off the jacket and they want to go play, we go in and we help them with that as well, so that they can look good, for the after party or the cocktails or whatever.
And have you seen any change in the way customer behave or customer buy since, I would say, COVID? Like, have you seen any change in that? Have you seen any big pattern or something very much different?
Well, very much so, because of COVID, and actually it started way before that, but there has been a shift, huge shift into buying online, and there's something to be said about that. It's think about the client that is sitting at home. It's kind of a retail therapy. They're sitting at home, they get the laptop, and they shop. Nothing wrong with that, but you cannot appreciate color. The color, it's almost all the time not what it really is, because of lighting, because of cameras, or whatever. You cannot feel the fabric. You cannot get fitted online, obviously, right? So you need to come to a store. And what's more important, you need to establish a relationship so that you will look your best. And that's where we come in. And it starts this way, and if it continues, then it's going to be a win-win for everyone involved.
No, you can't replace the human connection. That's for sure. I see it when I have online clients and in-person clients. It's very much different. It's just what it is. But how at Neiman Marcus did you kind of do to maintain this customer experience very strong, regardless of the shift that was happening?
Well, the company makes a huge emphasis in establishing a relationship with your client.
Okay.
That is very, very important. Yeah, the company does recognize the power of online, but also that close relationship with your client will have them coming back time and time again. And that's what you want. You want the customer to pick up the phone and call you and say, Carlos or Elsa, listen, I need to stop by. I need this because of whatever. And what we do is that we make it easy for them. We have tailors, for example, at our disposal that can take care of the customer, can get them fitted. And you know what? Most of the time, we have come through for the customer, even when they have a very definite and strict deadline. And we worked on one particular client where the client had to leave for Europe, right? And he bought a bunch of things. He was living in Puerto Rico. There was no way that we could get the items altered by our staff and get them shipped to Puerto Rico in the time span that he had given us. So you had to improvise,
Of
right?
course.
You had to think outside the box. In that case, I flew to Puerto Rico to be able to take care of the customer so that the customer had his garments before he left for Europe. And he was very happy.
For sure. Well, we also had that other experience last time when a customer had to show up for personal styling session with me at Neiman, and then things have changed, and obviously we had to take everything on consignment to the hotel. I had to go set up the room, pretty much do everything last minute. And I think that is also what is very interesting, because you got to be so creative, especially working with those high level clients when need change fast and you have to adapt and be able to deliver the same level of service.
Absolutely, and that's what the clients out there need to realize, that it's not something strict and very boxed in where you have to do this. No, we will adjust. We will take care of the customer one way or another. In the store, it's ideal, but doesn't have to be. We can go to a hotel. We can go to a meeting. I can bring my tailors over. Whatever it takes.
Yeah, everything is possible, really.
Right.
Everything is completely possible, and that's when I say that one of the most important skill is not just being a good stylist when it comes to fashion. It's also being very good with people. Because if you're not, it's impossible to navigate through those last minute change, or to those as high expectation that they have of you, when you really have to keep your calm under any circumstance and be able to deliver the highest service.
Correct.
And the best wardrobe for your client. And that's, to me, that's what I found to be actually, I wouldn't say the most challenging, but the most natural to me. To each client is very much different, and to be able to adapt to each, I would say, different type of client persona, I would say, and different circumstance as well, which I'm sure is the same for you at Neiman as well. You must have come across, I'm guessing, different scenario when you had to come up with a solution at the last minute for high-level clients as well.
Absolutely, and you know what? It is our job to make them feel comfortable, and to get them to trust what we do, and the fact that we will come through regardless. When you do that, you have a relationship that will last for a long time. But they need to realize, the value of what you do. First of all, the knowledge that you have of fashion. Fashion today, not from years ago. What are the trends in the present, and how you apply that to their particular lives. So they will have the confidence to know that, I'm wearing the best. I'm wearing what is in style now. So that will make them feel, they're doing the right thing. They feel confident.
I think for me, there's something that I do not promote enough, but I am very much well traveled. So I lived in London for many years. I lived in New York, Miami, Paris, and I did travel so much. So when it comes to fashion, my eyes has traveled so much. I've done different things in the fashion industry. I've worked as a visual merchandiser, personal shopper, trend forecasting studios, many different things in editorial as well. So I would say that I'm also very knowledgeable based on the different, job that I've done in the industry, as well as the fact that my eyes has traveled so much. So when I have a client coming from the UK, like, I know the market, I know how to dress them. Same if I have someone coming from Europe, like, I've traveled so much, Milan or Florence, Stockholm, name it. And so that's definitely, this experience of mine makes the process of what I do easier, and makes that, first of all, I know how to create a wardrobe fast, because I've moved also myself so much. So I know what it's like to have to travel for a different, a different place, and having to adapt culturally to that place. And I would say, in terms of my personality, of who I am as a person, I've really built my business in a way that I want I don't want to say long-lasting customers, it's not what I want to say, but like high level of services to really deliver the best of the best. Like, I'm not interested into having 200 customer back to back and just tell them this is not what I want to do and this is not what I do. I really work with high level client on the membership package with my highest level client, where everything is so curated based on their lifestyle, who they are, what is the brand that they want to represent, how they want to be seen, and also really having that intimacy with them. And when I say intimacy, there is nothing weird with what I'm saying, but when you walk into someone's wardrobe, it's very intimate.
Very.
It's extremely intimate. You have the smell of the clothes. This is where they get changed. And even when you enter a fitting room with a client, male or female, you have a certain level of intimacy that is here with, of course, all respect. But it's another side that you see from your client, and you need to be able to be very good with people. And to me, what I do, I'll see that much more to be more a people, like, I don't know how to frame this properly.
You have to have people skills.
Exactly,
yeah,
people skills.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because we, at the end of the day, we are in the people business.
Yeah.
Continuously, we are dealing with clients of every level. So you have to be able to make them feel comfortable. Because, like, for example, in my case, in my company, you'll be surprised, but a lot of people feel intimidated coming into, oh my God, Neiman Marcus, and it's like this grand store. So if you break the ice, if you greet them with a smile and make them feel welcome, you got them, and it's about, people and relationship with them and making them feel at home and making them feel comfortable with what they're about to purchase.
Yeah. And I also think that the way, what is very important is like the way people spend nowadays, and I see that a lot with my client, they need to understand, like they need to see what I always say, what is my cost per wear? So, okay, like I'm ready to invest, I'm just making up a number, $3,000 in this amazing blazer, but like, what is my cost per wear? How many times I'm going to be able to wear that piece? And that is also my philosophy. Like I'm very much about building something versatile, investing in staple pieces, and then, like adding different items around those staple, because staple are always the piece that's going to be timeless. And you want that, right. You want timeless pieces. And they are also what I call the key foundation of your wardrobe. Very easy to rotate around that. So what is your philosophy on guiding those clients through that journey of investing in the wardrobe when they come to Neiman?
Well, it's very simple, really. It goes back to the old saying, you get what you pay for. And the level of quality is there, and you'll pay for it, but you will receive a garment that is the best quality, that will last you so much longer, because it's the real thing. And not only that, you will have the knowledge that you bought the right garment, the right fabric. We have a lot of combinations of fabrics to make it pleasant for example, our weather. We do tropical weight wool with silk or with linen. So you'll wear a sport jacket that is comfortable here. On the other hand, we have other fabrics, heavier fabrics, that will be perfect for Madrid or Milan or London or whatever. So those are the adjustments that we have to make, and the customers will continue to come with us because we are creating a service. We're giving them a service that is valuable time after time.
I would also say that Neiman Marcus at Merrick Park, I find it to be very much different than the other one for some reason. It's more, I can see more like long-lasting clients coming here. Whereas at the other store, it's more, I don't know how to put this correctly, but it's more like, I don't want to say like a tourist place, but you see what I'm saying?
Yes, our clientele is very mixed. We have clients, obviously from Coral Gables and Coconut Grove and Pinecrest and Brickell and so on, but we also have clients from Central South America and other countries. But like our store is not about huge crowds of people, because it never is. Even now at the start of the holiday season, it's not about that. But the clients, so therefore the client comes in and he feels comfortable. He doesn't feel rushed. He doesn't feel overwhelmed. And that's a great thing.
Definitely. You do feel at home, I have to say. You really do feel at home, and this is so important for the clients also. Like, they feel extremely comfortable when they come to
And
you.
another thing is that we do things different.
True.
We have all these events. In fact, we have a luncheon that we're doing on Thursday with the head of fashion for Neiman Marcus. It's going to be at the store, and we do fashion shows and parties and sipping bubbly and stuff like that. So it is a completely different atmosphere. But at the end of the day, you will get taken care of. Your fashion needs will be taken care of, and you'll walk out with a smile.
And so, how do you see the evolution of fashion in Miami? Because Miami has changed so much, and it was never the place to be for fashion. That's a fact.
True.
But I do see such a shift with the fashion in Miami right now.
Definitely. And it has a lot, I think, it has a lot to do with the fact that Miami occupies a focal point in the U.S. and in the world. Everybody wants to be here, come here, visit. Therefore, fashion is very much up to date. It has to be. We have fashion week here, and we have a bunch of different events that are geared towards the fashion world. So that means that we need to be up to date. We need to be up with our game, because it is expected of us. It will be demanded of us, and I think we are.
No, you are. Definitely you are. Well, Carlos, it was such a pleasure to have you here. And I'm looking really forward to carry on working with you for our collaboration.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure, and we shall continue to do so.
We will.